I'm sorry I couldn't get all the ingredients and myself in, so I'm not so important. I'm going to focus on letting you see the ingredients here. I'm diving into my second liver gallbladder flush this week, and I've already done the week-long preparation. Today is day 6. That's sort of the critical day where all of the ingredients all start to come into play, and tomorrow is when things begin to get released from the liver. So I'm just going to walk you through what some of this entails. I'm going to start off by saying, please do not do this without reading the book by Andreas Moritz, The Amazing Liver and Gallbladder Flush. It has a lot of details in it that you'll want and need to know, aside from the ingredients here that you're basically going to need to do the pull of the toxins and cholesterol and stones from the liver gallbladder. So the first thing here is the tart cherry juice. I opted on tart cherry over apple because the quantity of apple juice was just not doable for me. If you can drink 32 ounces of apple juice every day, 6 days in a row, apple juice is an option for you. I cannot. And so I opted on the black cherry. It has 4 times the amount of malic acid as the apple juice. So you only need to drink 1/4 the quantity, or 8 ounces a day, which you sip on very slowly over the course of a whole day for 5 days. And then on the 6th day, you drink the 8 ounces all at once, first thing in the morning. The next thing you'll need on day 6 is Epsom salts, which are magnesium sulfate, and water. The exact ratio is 3 cups of water to 4 tablespoons of the Epsom, which I'm going to mix up for you right here. Super simple. I already have my 3 cups of water in my ball jar. Ball jars are great. They already have the measurements right on there, so I have it filled right to the 3 cup mark. This is my measured 4 tablespoons of Epsom, and I'm just going to pour it into the water with my wooden spoon. I'm going to stir the Epsom until it's fully dissolved into the water. It takes just a minute. Now, a lot of people have a hard time with the Epsom, from what I understand. I watched a lot of the videos of other people doing this flush before I did my first one. And if you do as well, you'll see a lot of people out there making a big to-do about the Epsom. I had no problem at all with the Epsom, but I'm very accustomed to doing botanicals and herbal concoctions and whatnot. Plug your nose, drink it down. It's not bad at all. So the exact way you're going to do the Epsom starts on the evening of day 6, that's tonight, at 6 o'clock. This is 4 doses taken at 4 separate times. A dose is 3/4 of a cup of this fluid, which I'm going to take at 6 p.m. tonight and at 8 p.m. tonight. And then tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. and 8 a.m. Now, some people who are on all fruit diets, have real clean diets, they may not take dose 4 or even dose 3 of the Epsom. I'm not sure how I feel about that yet. I'm moving in that direction myself. So we'll see with this second flush what happens. The next thing you'll need which you also take day 6, the evening of day 6, that's tonight at 10 p.m., the last thing I'm going to do is the oil pull. This is organic olive oil, cold pressed, all of that stuff. I'm going to take exactly a half cup of this with a little more than a half cup of fresh squeezed grapefruit juice. I'm going to squeeze my grapefruits here. I went for the grapefruits. You can also do lemon. I don't think I could do the lemon. Some people also have a really hard time with the oil pull, this oil grapefruit juice concoction. I don't have any problem at all drinking it. It tastes sort of like a salad dressing. But afterwards you can definitely feel it. And the first thing that is mandatory after you drink it is to lay down immediately on your back with your upper body and head elevated. You want that head above the stomach esophagus. You don't want any reflux. Back up. You need to be able to hold this down. And you have to lie perfectly still for a half hour. And then you can go ahead and fall asleep. The last time I did this, I had no problem at all falling asleep right there in that position and was beautifully content the whole night. I could feel the stones and the release from the liver. Fascinating. You have to try to not get scared or worried about things like this that you're not used to experiencing. I didn't have any release at all in the night, even after 2 doses of Epsom and a pretty clean diet. Right now, I've been no meat for over a decade, but no dairy at all, no grains and starches at all almost right now. Really working my way toward the fruits, all raw and high fruit. I may already have a half a cup. I'm going to keep going just because I cut these open. So let's see, what else can I tell you about day 6? Day 6, if you're someone like me, I'll tell you the hardest part of this whole flush for me is eating and being done by 1 o'clock. Because usually I don't start eating until approximately then or even later. It's that long before my stomach feels like it wants to eat anything. And most of what I eat between 1 and 2 o'clock and say 5 or 6. I, interestingly enough, even at this size, don't eat much. The appetite for food just isn't there. Some of you know I'm doing a consciousness experiment to see exactly what I do need and don't need anymore because of that. But anyway, with the food, I'm eating mango. Yeah, that's the hardest part of this for me, is getting some food in me and being done by 1 o'clock. It's important to have something with some substance. I ate just a small amount of rice for this purpose. Because once you do the oil pull, you need something there to help you not get the backlash of this back up the esophagus. Some people do throw up with it for that purpose. I didn't last time, but I could see easily how that could have happened if I wouldn't have had something last time I did oats. And just a little, you just need a little to prevent that from happening. So good. Okay, I'm not going to mix this right now because you're not supposed to mix it until right before you take it. So what I will do is take my half cup of olive oil and pour it here in the jar. My little measurements are again right on the side. That's why ball jars are so good for this. I don't have my glasses on. Again, that's part of this experiment too, getting my visual acuity back, throwing my glasses away. We'll see what happens with that. This is my half cup of olive oil. When it's time, I'll pour my half cup or slightly more than half cup of grapefruit juice into that, and then I'm going to shake it really, really hard until it's completely emulsified. And then I'm going to plug my nose and drink it all in one sip. Don't waste your time sipping on this, people. It makes it harder, especially if you're having a hard time with it to begin with. Just plug your nose and throw it down. If you have a good constitution. I know some of you are struggling with weaker constitutions and certain illnesses, and just, do what works best for your system if you're going to do such a thing as this. Okay. I will go over all of this one more time. The preparation for the flesh takes a week. So a week before the day of the flesh, you're going to start your juice, either apple juice or tart cherry juice. 32 ounces a day on the apple juice, 8 ounces a day on the tart cherry, drank at slow intervals over the course of the whole day. Day 6, you take your 8 ounces of tart cherry and drink it all at once in the morning, or 32 ounces of apple juice, all at once, first thing in the morning. Okay, and then during the course of day 6, just eat lightly, no proteins, no nuts, no dairy, none of that, and this is what you'll want the book for. What is suggested by the author of the book is either oats, as in an oatmeal, or basmati rice. He is Eastern born. So, and fruit, and maybe a small salad without any salad dressing, something like this. I'm just doing fruit and that little bit of rice, and that's fine for me. And then enemas are also a part of this process, unless you can afford to go and have your colon vacated by a colon hydrotherapist. And so don't do this without having done that. You definitely want to clear the way for when you do the actual flush. You don't want the organs to release their toxic waste and not be able to get through the colon and out of your body. So enemas, big part of this. You'll either have colon hydrotherapy on day 6 also, or you'll do your own enemas, just 2 or 3 back to back of the 2-liter size enemas, and that will clear you pretty good. And you'll probably want to spend the week, clearing your colon if that's not something that you normally do. Okay, next thing on day 6 is the Epsom salts in the water. So again, you will take 3 cups of water, mix that with 4 tablespoons of Epsom, and this makes 4 servings that you'll take on the evening of day 6 at 6 p.m. and 8 p.m. And then the next morning at 6 a.m. and 8 a.m. And shortly after the 8 a.m. dose is when I started releasing, and what I hear a lot of people doing. The release doesn't really start until then. And then the last thing you'll need is the half cup of olive oil with the slightly more than half cup of fresh squeezed either lemon or pink grapefruit juice, which you mix and shake until very emulsified, and which you'll drink down at 10 p.m. the evening of day 6. Afterwards, you'll immediately lie down on your back with your upper body and head slightly elevated. And then you can just fall off to sleep. You will probably need to set an alarm for the morning for 6 a.m. and 8 a.m. if you're not accustomed to being awake at those hours already, to again take your 3rd and 4th doses of the Epsom. Okay, so tomorrow is the release day, and I will be back tomorrow to let you know what happened. Okay, so I just finished my 2nd liver gallbladder flush. Very successful pull again. You know, I want to start out this part of this video by saying, by letting you know that I'm doing this particular organ flush, I'm not recommending anybody do it. I certainly do recommend cleansing the body, going deep into the body, into the internal organs and glandulars, into the lymphatic system, getting your kidneys filtering, clearing the bowel, etc., etc. I also recommend looking into the options and alternatives out there. This is just the one that came to me, and the one I chose to do because so many people were getting the depth of cleanse that I was very much wanting to see in myself, and actually nearing a state of desperation too, because of the level of pain I was experiencing in the back of the head, across the neck and top of the shoulders, which again just was not going away. These muscles were tensed and tensed tight and weren't letting go 24/7. So it was sort of an intuitive move on my part to go into the liver first, prior to the kidneys. And this is the particular cleanse I chose. I don't know if I will do another of these. As I'm moving deeper and deeper into the cleanse itself, I'm moving more and more off all foods but fruits, simply for the detoxification function and purpose. And as I do this, as I move more toward all raw, high fruit, and all fruit, my body, my organs are simply having the ammunition to do their own dumping of their loads themselves. And that's what happened in this flush. Fascinating. 4 days before the actual flush itself, I had the largest part of the release. My liver itself just let go of quite a lot. And yeah, this is proving to me that the detoxification level of fruits, of all fruits, for a period of time while I'm doing the detox, which again will probably go through the year 2019, is going to be enough with the 2 liver flushes I've done already anyway, for the liver itself. I begin the kidney cleansing beginning tomorrow. This is a specific herbal protocol. I began the cleansing of the organs themselves, the kidneys, about a month ago, I started with the lemon, drinking lemon water first thing in the morning and last thing at night before going to bed. And it took about a month before I started feeling the discomfort in my kidneys from my kidneys beginning to filter. And so that process has already begun. The herbal formula that I'm using is also Andreas Maritz's from the book, The Amazing Liver and Gallbladder Flush. I will link that again below. And I will go ahead and start those herbs tomorrow. I will be doing the cleanse for 20 to 30 days, ideally 30. We'll just see what happens as I go day to day to day. Okay, I've got a few pictures for you for the faint at heart. Go ahead and cut the video now, and I'm going to show you some of the examples of what begins coming out of the body during a detox.